system transfers an ad from one owner to another, and it basically updates all of the fields so that they respond to a different advertiser. So let's say you are a business owner that has sold his or her business. Somebody buys the business from you, but you have some ads running on Bifari. You could transfer your ads to his or her account, and they will keep all the data from the ads, so they don't have to recreate the ads. What you have to understand is that these systems are being built so that they can serve as a foundation for global systems. So at least you see all the major use cases being taken care of. That doesn't mean that this is going to be the latest version of the ad systems, but it is representative of a system at scale, right? So you want to cover all of the use cases of a system that is running at scale. So we might have to do an additional version down the line if the system grows too fast, but I don't see us having to change the contract unless the DAO reaches millions of users, because we have accounted even for these types of edge business cases, edge use cases. So what I'm trying to say is that this contract really supports practically everything you could think of. So if you want to burn the token, there's a function for that. It will delete all the maps so that we don't have orphan records. It will update the dashboard, all of the variables, and then it will burn the token. So no more problems. Just make sure that you got all of your budget, right, or that the campaign finished before you burn the token, because if a campaign is running and then you burn the ad, you're not gonna get either the money or the publicity, because if there's no token, there's nothing to show. Having said that, if you just transfer the ad from one account to another one, then everything keeps running all the same. And we also want to try and make this be multi-chain, so that you can move the NFT from one chain to another and keep the system running with no problems. Now, the burning facility allows a multi-chain process to be executed, because we can create the token on one chain and then burn it on another chain, right? It's a bit slow process, maybe a little bit cumbersome, but it really works. So yeah, burning tokens, it's a provision not only for facilitating the case of user errors, privacy, you just want to keep your wallet clean, or it also supports the business case of a multi-chain bridge implementation. So ad minting and functions, funding. So the idea here is that we have a section for ad minting, mostly private functions that we use inside the contract some way or another one. We get all the data from the client, and then we get some sort of payment that needs to cover auditing fees, and it needs to cover the minimum budget. And then we begin with a process of whitelisting the ad, just making sure the ad it's okay, it's compliant. And then after this whitelist process occurs, the auditing funds are transferred, which is a small fraction of what's sent. It's currently 3%, so it goes from 2.5 to 3%. Anyway, on that range, that's what auditors get of the ad budget. After the whitelisting process is done, then we mint a token that has all of the information for the ad, right? And then we fund the ad. We send the budget minus obviously the auditing fees. We deposit that on a bank that is virtualized on this smart contract. We just increase the budget by the amount that you have provided, right here. So that's pretty simple. Um, then there's a minting function, obviously. This minting function is probably the most complicated function inside the program, as you can see. Probably 100 lines or so. Takes all the data, gets the next ID, checks that the ID is not taken, there's nothing there in the budget, inserts a budget, status information, auditing information, and then it just avoids double entry by making sure that the system can insert a new ad token. In Bitfari, most of the things are NFTs. Users are NFTs, us are NFTs, and then the system just moves them around. So it puts all the information of the ad on inside a map, updates the dashboard, all of the variables, and then fonts the ad with different calculations here, and then it mints an NFT, which you will get on your hopefully you will get on your wallet. Once you get the NFT, you need to wait for whitelisting to finalize. An auditor will check the ad. After the auditor checks the ad, 1 hour, 2 hours, then when you see the ad on your platform, you will get a message that the ad is actually able to be distributed. And then if the campaign date is the same date at which it was whitelisted, then the ad can be distributed immediately. And then after that ad gets distributed, the budget starts getting consumed. And once that budget gets depleted, the ad is paused, right? You can keep that ad running. You can keep funding it and running it, funding it and running it. But essentially, until that ad is canceled, it is part of the system. So it's a pretty powerful contract. It's pretty powerful, pretty, incredibly well structured, incredibly well documented. Even single lines of code have a lot of documentation. It's a very instructive contract. If you want to learn Clarity, I suggest this contract. You can start with this one. You can start with the Fari contract, with the Fari token contract, which is simpler than this. It's only 100 lines, that one. But this one will give you some exposure to some sophisticated functions of Clarity, without being painfully complicated, right? Hope you enjoy this review. Just wanted to go over the contract with the community, because I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about the contract. We will do a live demo this week, show you this contract running, and that should be fun, right? So we have ads up and running, and we will be posting ads on mainnet pretty soon. Thanks for your attention, and remember to always bring life to your location.